Buffalo Bill vs. Kansas City Chief, using odds preview to predict AFC Division matches. Kansas City, Missouri. The Cincinnati Bengals shocked the Tennessee Titans, the No. 1 seed in the AFC, last night, and now all that stands in the way of the Buffalo Bills and hosting the AFC title game are the Kansas City Chiefs. The Bills were here 1 year ago, almost to the day. That was last year's AFC Championship game, and the Chiefs overpowered Buffalo. Patrick Mahomes threw for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Bills played sloppy on offense. They weren't ready for the moment. Josh Allen said this week that the Bills don't want to have that feeling again. We have to do everything in our power to make sure that it doesn't end there this year, Allen said, and that's our main goal, is to go out there and win one game as it is theirs. It's two really good football teams going at it, and I'm sure they're excited for the opportunities, as we are. Not many teams are playing this late in the season, so to be playing meaningful games like this in January, it's all you can ask for. The Bills faced the Chiefs back in October and got some revenge in the middle of a lightning storm, beating the Chiefs 38-20. But there were a few missing pieces on the Kansas City defense, most notably defensive tackle Chris Jones. He'll be back for this game. They're throwing so many looks at the opposing quarterbacks right now, bringing pressures from every side imaginable, Allen said. Obviously 95 moved back inside, and when he wants to go he can go against anybody. And he's one of the better players in the league. Obviously outside they've got a couple guys that get after the quarterback. The Chiefs added veteran pass rusher Melvin Ingram halfway through the season, and his presence has added stability to the Kansas City defensive line. It's allowed Jones to play mainly inside, and Ingram forms a difficult tandem to deal with along with Frank Clark. Allen said the key for the Bills is going to be communicating well, managing the crowd noise, and making plays that are there to be made. The Bills continue to be one of the most healthy teams in the league. They'll still be without star cornerback Tre'Davious White, but the rest of the roster is intact. There wasn't a single player with an injury designation on Friday's report. The Chiefs will have a few more players back on defense for this game, but it's going to be a completely different offense they have to deal with for the Bills. Running back Devin Singletary has been one of the best backs in the league the past 8 yards, totaling 663 all-purpose, 8 touchdowns, and, maybe most importantly, 0 fumble. He's done a really good job for us, Bills offensive coordinator Brian Daboll said. Obviously we have given him the ball some here in the last quarter, or a little bit more than that of the season, and he's really taken advantage of his opportunities. On the other side of the ball, the Bills will be dealing with Patrick Mahomes and a Chiefs offense that's clicking once again. They put up 41 points on the Pittsburgh Steelers last week. Mahomes threw 5 touchdowns in a row, and the Chiefs scored 6 straight touchdowns to close out the game. The Bills scored touchdowns on all 7 of their offensive possessions against the Patriots last week. This game is setting up to be a shootout. Bills vs. Chiefs. Kickoff, 6:30 p.m. on Sunday at Arrowhead Stadium. TV, CBS. Radio, WGR 550 AM, WROC 950 AM, WKTV 105.5. Line, Chiefs by 1.5. Betting, find the latest sportsbook promotions here. Prediction. One player to watch in this game for the Chiefs, outside of the superstar trio of Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill, is running back Jerick McKinnon. He exploded last week with over 100 total yards and a touchdown. The Bills defense finished the season ranked No. 1 in pass defense. That unit will need to be as good as it was in October. The Bills offense has a tougher test against improved KC defense, but Buffalo is better on offense now, too. They have more weapons, and that'll end up being the difference. Fireworks is the prediction. Perino. Score, Bills 38, Chiefs 35. The Chiefs swept the regular season and postseason matchups last year, and the Bills will look to do the same on Sunday night. After winning the regular season matchup, Buffalo enters the game healthy, but the team will certainly miss Tre'Davious White, who was lost for the year in late November. The defense has held up well in his absence. This game has all the makings of a shootout, but I see the Bills having too much firepower this time with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Dawson Knox, Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, and Devin Singletary. Ryan Talbot. Score, Bills 38, Chiefs 31. Read more. 6 weeks ago, Isaiah McKenzie was warming Bills' bench. He returned as a star, with Brian Daboll to thank for it. Bills to host AFC Championship if victorious vs. Chiefs. Extra spectators. Bills Mafia trend makes its way to local Wegmans ahead of Chiefs game. Bills skill players much healthier for playoff rematch vs. Chiefs. The inside story of how a Bills fan snuck sweet potato into a game, how it's triggering Chiefs fans. Talk about the Bills. Be sure to check out and subscribe to Shout, the Buffalo Football Podcast with beat writers Matt Perino and Ryan Talbot. Facebook, Twitter, Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube. Upgrade your NFL stuff. Sideline Gear Game Day masks live stream schedule Bills gear.